Hi, today I would like to talk about an Indian freedom fighter who created an intellectual base for the revolutionaries to carry out their struggle against the British to enable India to be independent. His name is Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. He was born in May 1883 in a place called Begur near Nasik in the state of Maharashtra. An incident that made a deep impact on Savarkar was during his teenagers in 1897 when he heard the news of the hanging of Damodar Hari Chapekar. Damodar Hari Chapekar had shot dead a British commissioner who was responsible for the arrangements needed to reduce the spread of plague in Pune in 1897. The name of the commissioner was Walter Rand. He employed harsh methods against those inhabitants who were affected by the plague. They were forced into certain quarantine centers which lacked facilities and would not provide food for them. This, along with other atrocities, made William Rand and the government unpopular among the people. William Rand was seen as a tyrant. Against this backdrop, two brothers who were called Damodar Hari Chapekar and Balakrishna Hari Chapekar decided to kill William Rand. On 22 June 1897, they hid at a place near a road called the Ganeshkind Road in Pune. On that day, William Rand had attended a government function, and was to return back on that road to his home. It was night time and there was a carriage that was coming on the road. Balakrishna Hari Chapekar immediately leapt onto the back of the carriage and shot dead the person inside the carriage. But it turned out that the person inside the carriage was not William Rand, but it was his lieutenant. After this, there was another carriage that followed, and this time the other brother, Damodar Hari Chapekar, shot the person in the carriage, and it was William Rand. William Rand was taken to the hospital, but he died after a few days. Both the brothers were arrested and hanged. When Vinayak Savarkar got to know of the execution of Damodar Hari Chapekar, he was deeply troubled. He would not sleep for several days. Later, he goes to his family shrine in Begur and takes a pledge in front of the goddess that he would commit to fight against the British his entire life and kill them until his last breath. On 1899, family of Savarkar moved to Nasik. Here, a Savarkar made a group of friends and he called the group as Mitra Mela. This group was made for discussing political ideas. This group would meet in a small room which had portraits of famous Indian personalities along its walls. People like Chhatrapati Shivaji, Rani Lakshmibai, Tantia Tope, Nana Sahib, etc. Later, after 3 years, a Savarkar on January 1902 decided to pursue arts in the Ferguson College of Pune. At that time, according to the rules, it was possible that one could pursue simultaneous degrees, and therefore Savarkar also joined another college, Deccan College in Pune, and pursued a degree in law, LLB. In both these colleges, he created branches of Mitra Mela. These groups would publish poetry, essays, which were mainly aligned to nationalism. These Mitra Melas would later spread to different colleges in Maharashtra, and all these Mitra Melas on one occasion in 1904 arranged a convention in Nasik. Remember, Savarkar was studying in Pune in the Ferguson College, and here the convention is in Nasik. And this convention was attended by over 200 delegates. Savarkar, being the head of the Mitra Melas, was becoming an emerging student leader. And in the same convention, he changed the name of the network of Mitra Melas to Abhinav Bharat, which meant Young India or New India. Once this convention happened in 1904, in 1905, there were protests against the partition of Bengal, and there began the Swadeshi movement in Bengal that boycotted the use of foreign goods. It also spread to Maharashtra. The partition of Bengal was proposed to be carried out to create disunity between the Hindus and Muslims of Bengal, as the nationalist movement was going strong at that time. The boycott of the foreign goods also occurred in Pune, and this was led by Savarkar. On 8th October, cartloads of foreign cloth were collected and they were taken in a procession through the streets of Pune, and this was led by Savarkar. The procession stopped at a place called Lakdi Pul. Pul means a bridge. There speeches were delivered. At night 9 o'clock, there was a bonfire that was lit, and the clothes along with other foreign goods were burnt. Seeing that one of his students had taken part in the Swadeshi movement, the principal of Ferguson College, Sir Raghunath Purushottam Paranjape, was not impressed with Savarkar. He rusticated Savarkar from the college hostel and fined him 10 rupees. However, it was not difficult for Savarkar to fund these 10 rupees, as the students of Pune were able to successfully go on a collection drive and help Savarkar pay this fine. This also points to the popularity of Savarkar by that time. He also had the backing of a popular nationalist leader, Bal Gangadhar Tilak. In December 1905, Savarkar completed his degree in art. Remember, I told you that he enrolled in this degree and started his studies on January 1902, and now he has completed it in 1905. And later, he was also able to complete a law degree. Later, he applied for a scholarship to work for an organization in London, an Indian organization called the India House. This organization was started by another revolutionary freedom fighter who was from Gujarat but stays in London, called Shyamji Krishnavarma. India House was seen as a center for Indian revolutionaries to nurture themselves to carry out an armed struggle against the British rule in India. It started off as a space to accommodate Indian students in London who would not find accommodation in other places in London because of the racial attitude there. In addition to the people who were already in India House also decided to provide 3 scholarships. These 3 scholarships were named after 3 famous Indians: the Mughal Emperor Akbar, Chhatrapati Shivaji, and Maharana Pratap of Mewar. Savarkar applied for one of the scholarships, which also had the recommendation of Bal Gangadhar Tilak, a famous Indian nationalist leader who was a part of the extremist side of the Indian National Congress, and also had the recommendation of his principal from the Fergusson College, where Savarkar pursued his degree in arts. Savarkar got the scholarship and he left for London from Bombay in June 1906. He left in a ship called SS Persia, and the ship went through the Red Sea and then to Suez Canal to a place in France called Marseilles. From Marseilles, one would have to take a train to Paris and one other place. After that, one would go in a boat on the English Channel to be able to go to London. At the same time, there was a letter that was sent from Pune, India, from the Special Crime Branch to the India Office Crime Branch in London, and it alerted the London Police, the Scotland Yard, to keep a watch on Vinayak Savarkar. Vinayak Savarkar also reaches London. After this, let me continue the story in another video, which would be the part 2 of the story.